everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing my July TBR. I am really excited about a lot of the books in July. I have taken on a couple more buddy reads, so if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that my relationship with buddy reads has been fraught because I love doing them and I love reading books with everybody else. And I usually end up doing a bunch because I will just write a message in Discord and be like, someone want to read this? And then we'll read it together. But previously organized large-scale buddy reads have been tough because I do like switching up my TBR from time to time, and sometimes the pressure of having all these buddy reads can be too much. So I have a couple in July. Hopefully I will be able to stick with them all, but there are a lot of books that I am excited about. If you have not joined the Discord, please feel free to do so. The book that we will be reading as the official channel read-along in July is The Forgetting Moon by Brian Lee Durfee. This is a book that was not really on my radar, and then when I polled people on what they would like to read as a channel read-along, this one won by a lot. There were a lot of people who wanted to read this book, and I'm excited about it. I've seen Brian Lee Durfee do a couple of interviews on other booktubers' channels, and he seems like a really energetic, really interesting guy. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of book he has written. The only thing that I looked up was the title, and it said that it was epic, grimdark fantasy. I like epic fantasy. I like grimdark fantasy. Have no idea what it is about, but I am looking forward to reading it. So that will be the channel read along, which usually kicks off on the 1st of the month. I try to start those on July 1st so that we give everybody time to read them, to jump in, and promote lots of discussion. So really looking forward to that one. The second book that I'm going to be starting is another read along just with one person on the channel. So Penny and I are going to be reading this together. Anybody else is obviously welcome to join in. And that is the first book in the Dagger and the Coin series by Daniel Abraham. Penny and I read The Long Price Quartet together earlier this year, and then obviously I had the discussions online with Philip and Alan and Nico and Andrew, and that was really fun. And now I'm looking forward to reading The Dagger and the Coin series. I know Jimmy really likes this one, and I know that Alan is most of the way through it and has also really enjoyed it. But I really love Daniel Abraham's writing. I think his character work is impeccable, and I want to see what he does with a more traditional fantasy story. So I think the first book in that series is called The Dragon's Path, and I am excited to get started. An impromptu buddy read that just popped up on Discord over the last couple of days is a middle grade novel, and that is the book Nevermore. I did not write down the author's name, so I'm not sure who wrote it, but this is a super popular middle grade book. And a bunch of people, we have like a Kids Lit thread in Discord, and a bunch of people were talking about how much they like this one. And I said, I feel like the only person who enjoys middle grade who has not read this book. And then a couple more people chimed in and said they also want to read it. And then a few people are going to be rereading it. So I am excited. Middle grade books are so fun. They're usually pretty easy to read because the prose is accessible, because you want it to reach, a wide audience. But the adventure is usually just so exciting. Kids have the biggest imaginations. And so the people who write for kids often also have really big imaginations. And I love that. I tend to go more for classic middle grade that can be enjoyed by a wide variety of people. I get the feeling that Nevermore might be more of a middle grade that appeals a lot to children. And if it is, I will be excited about that too, because it means that it'll be something that I can read with my kids. But I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll be a fun and quick read that'll give me a little bit of like a happiness boost in July. It'll be a good poolside read too, because often there are distractions when I'm around the pool and I can't be reading something pretentious, because that would take too much of my concentration. The next buddy read and the last buddy read that I have scheduled is the second book in the new Jedi Order series, which is called, I have to look at my paper, Onslaught. So this is part of a very laid back ongoing readathon that we have on Discord. There's been a couple of people who have been discussing the first book, Vector Prime. I have started it and I'm starting to weigh in with some comments, but this is a series that I really want to read and that my husband has not read, so he would really like to read as well. And we're going to be jumping into book 2 in July. So if you are a Star Wars fan and you want someone to discuss those books with, then definitely hop on Discord as well. The fifth book that I have, actually the fifth and sixth, are books from my 5-star predictions video. So I made a video of books I thought I would rank 5 stars at the beginning of the year. And the last 2 books on that list, I would like to finish up in July so that I can review those and then start a new 5-star predictions video. And those 2 books are Piranesi by Susanna Clarke and Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I forget what her last name is, but that is a literary fiction. So we have Piranesi, which is a literary fantasy that came out, I think, 2 years ago, late 2020. A bunch of people on BookTube have loved it. Philip loved it. Joanna loved it. Who else do I even need to hear from? Like, if Philip and Joanna loved it, then I'm sure that I will love it as well. And Hamnet is, I think, an emotional or more hard-hitting literary fiction. So also really looking forward to that one. After Hamnet, I would also like to listen to, this is going to be my audiobook for July, the book Empire of Pain. This is about the opiate crisis and the family behind the kind of pharmaceutical dynasty that led to the overprescribing of opiates. This is just something that interests me because of my field of work. I think I have heard that it is really well researched and really well delivered. I think Kyle really likes this. This is one of his favorite nonfiction books, and he has definitely listened to it and told me that he really enjoyed it. So it's a bit of a lengthy one. It'll probably take me through the whole month because I just don't listen to audiobooks that often. So that will probably be enough to bring me through all of July, but I am hopeful that I will enjoy it. 8th on the list, I have Kings of the Wild. I figured I'd put some fun books on my July TBR because I know I'm going to be out and, traveling and doing a whole bunch of things in July. And sometimes it's nice to have more lighthearted reads, or at least I think it is. And Kings of the Wild, I'm just expecting to be a fun fantasy romp. I know that there is a bit of a divide. Like, some people really like Kings of the Wild. Some people do not really like Kings of the Wild. I am interested in where I'm going to fall. I am not the most knowledgeable about classic rock, so I don't know how many of the references in this book, because it's a book about getting like a band of warriors back together, and I think there's a lot of music references in there. Some of those, many of those, may be lost on me, but I'm still hoping that I will enjoy the book because I like that trope. I like the get the old gang together and see what we can do later in life trope. So hopefully it will be appealing to me. Number 9 on the list is me trying to finally get in some books on the literary fiction / classics goal that I made myself at the beginning of the year. And I am going to read Persuasion by Jane Austen. I think Evie is going to jump in and read that with me because she needs to reread it. It is her favorite book, and I need to read it for the first time. I just saw the trailer, the controversial trailer for the Netflix adaptation, and I thought, I would like to read that book. So I am finally going to get around to reading Persuasion, and then I may or may not watch that adaptation afterwards. And then the very last book on the list is another work of literary fiction, and that is Things Fall Apart. So Things Fall Apart is a book that has been on my personal TBR for a very long time. It is a short book, which is the reason that I'm kind of pushing it in here on the July TBR, because July is going to be a busy month. We are traveling for 2 weeks. I am going to be doing a lot of call to make up for those 2 weeks that I am away. And then, between summer activities and going to the pool with the kids and being hiking and all of those things, reading time is probably going to take a hit. So lighthearted books and short books are going to be my friends in July. But that is it. That is my tentative TBR for the month of July. If you are planning to jump in and read any of these books with me, I would love to hear about it. Otherwise, please let me know what you are going to be reading. Are there specific kinds of books that you like to read in the summer? And I will see you with another video soon. Bye!